Hey, my Liptons. I decided to do this video because this has really been sitting on my spirit. And I know I talked about this briefly in my ZTV show reviews that were my favorites back in the day. But this particular show, diya, vachan, has really anytime I go to Z5 and I watch my shows and everything, it always pops up in my head. I'm just like, okay, diya, vachan had so much potential, and it's just like and when I hear why it ended, it pisses me off all over again. So I know I touched on it briefly, but I want to go into full detail. I want to go into full detail about this. So diya, vachan, I believe it came out in 2011, right? So the show is based on, let me just swipe real quick. The show is based on, this couple, but mostly Nandini, which is the girl. So she's a victim of sexual assault, right? But I think due to the PTSD, along with her also kind of losing her memory a little bit from that assault, because I think she banged her head on the wall or something, that it ended up, the guy sort of took advantage of that and she became unconscious. And I think due to the denial of it, she was going through that, right? So this guy, her husband, Prem, I think that's how you say his name. Excuse me. By the way, just side note, please forgive me if I mispronounced the title of the show, the names. I'm trying my best, but I have to talk about this. He ends up it's like love at first sight. He sees her at the street. He's like, oh my god, I'm going crazy. I want her. Da 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 da. I want to marry her. Da 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 da. Right. So, but the issue is he's supposed to be betrothed to her. How do you say it? Her. Okay, because Nandini's older sister is married to her rapist's brother, right? But Nandini's also living with her rapist's older brother in the house, in the compound, but obviously the rapist is not in the house, thank God. But I'm gonna get to his bitch ass for a second. I'm gonna get to him. Excuse me. I apologize too if I curse too. It's just this show. It really had me just my emotions was just all over the place with this show. So she ends up living with them. She lives with her sister and her brother-in-law basically. So that means that her brother-in-law's younger sister. So her brother-in-law's younger sister was betrothed to him, Prim, right? So he's just like, listen, it's an arranged marriage. I'm not really trying to do that. So he sees Nandini on the street. He doesn't know that Nandini's related to his soon-to-be fiance. So he's like, oh no, he tells his mother. This is his mother, by the way. This Prim's mother. He tells his mother, oh, I see this girl. I'm in love with her. I think I want to marry her. Da da da. And then his mom is just like, girl, his mom is just like, Prem, but you're betrothed to somebody else. And then he was like, no, you better cancel that. You just need me to cancel that. I want to marry this girl. So then his mom was like, but you don't even know who she is. You don't even know where she lives at. It's not gonna work. So, long story short, he when him and his mom went to go to his fiance's house, he sees Nandini at the house. So he was like, oh shit, this is great, this is amazing. So he tells his mom, he was like, listen, that's the girl that I saw, that's the girl that I love, I gotta marry her. So she's like, oh my god, you mean to tell me this is your fiance's relative and everything? This is weird. He's like, I don't care, you better cancel that engagement, get me to marry Nandini, da da da. So it causes a whole scene. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward. Prem ends up getting married to Nandini, right? Because they're like, you know what, let's just settle this once and for all, right? But Nandini's rapist, or the guy that sexually assaulted her, his name is Krishna, right? His name is. I wish I could have a picture of him but you know what? I don't want to have a picture of him because at this point, I do not want to see his face. And I understand he's an actor, but he really acted well as a villain, and that's kind of concerning to me. So I do not want to show Krishna's face. If y'all guys want to go see Krishna's face, y'all go do a good Google search. You'll see how he looks like. Krishna, right? He knows he attacked and assaulted Nandini, right? But because she lost her memory, she doesn't remember that it was him. Mind you, she doesn't even know that she was assaulted. That's the thing too, because of her memory loss and everything. She's living with PTSD and she doesn't even know why she's living with PTSD, right? So Krishna's coming to her face like, hey, like girl, like what's up? Da, 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 da. It turns out Krishna, right? While he's being fake and phony, he's, doing stuff behind the scenes to ruin Nandini's marriage because apparently he's also like in a twisted way wants Nandini. Like he always wanted her, Krishna, the rapist. So he's doing all this nefarious, like evil stuff behind the scenes, but he's coming to her face like, hey, da 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 da, everything will end up well, da da da. He's just fake and a horrible person. But here's the thing. Krishna's older brother, right? And this is why I'm also mad at Nandini's brother-in-law along with the sister, right? I don't know. I don't think it was the sister that knew that Krishna also assaulted. No, it was just Krishna's older brother. Krishna's older brother knew that his younger brother Krishna assaulted Nandini, right? So he ends up like the older brother beat the crap out of him. Like he beat the crap out of Krishna. Like he whipped his ass. He was like, and then the younger brother ended up convincing the older brother like, hey, like, just no, don't do that. Don't try to tell nobody. Don't arrest me because it will hurt our mother. Our mother's very old and sickly. Da da da. So the older brother was like, okay, I'm gonna let that slide. I'm gonna let you slide. But right, I don't want to ever see your face. You better not ever show your face. You better not ever come to Nandini because if you do, I'll kill you. Da 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 da. Right? Fast forward. So it's just like, for me, well, yes, I'm happy that you beat him up, but it's like, sir, you should have turned him in. You should have turned him into the police. You should have never let him anywhere near your house, anywhere near your vicinity. Gurmaji or whatever, I forgot his name. So that's why I'm mad. I'm mad at him too. So this in a way, Krishna was able to still be around Nandini and his older brother and Nandini's sister. And it's just like the older brother is just mad and angry that he's around and everything. And like Nandini and her sister don't know why he's always mad that his Krishna is always around. But it's like, sir, you gotta tell them something, fam. Like you have Nandini over here just around the same person that assaulted her and she doesn't even know it, right? So fast forward. Prem is low-key getting like, he's kind of, I won't say like he's upset, but he's low-key kind of like irked a little bit because it's like, Nandini, I gave you some space. I gave you I let you, do your thing. I let you try to fall in love with me, but it's like, it seems like you don't even want to be around me, that sort of thing. And, I understand where Prim is coming from, but it's like, homegirl got PTSD. Like, I don't know what else to say. She has PTSD. So Nandini, right? I think I'm fast forwarding because I'm trying to, do this whole thing. Nandini ends up like regaining her memory when she went down to the area where she got assaulted. Like, so it's basically like in the basement, the storage room basement of like the house that the house that she was living in. Yeah. So at the time, before she got married to her husband, Prem, she started to regain her memory. And then she turned back. Here is Krishna, the assaulter. And he's like, oh, you finally remember. It's so creepy, y'all. It's so creepy. Like, I wish y'all have, if anybody, get a VPN. Get an India VPN. Go to z5.com, type in diya, vachan episode 1 and start watching that thing. If y'all understand Hindi, shout out to y'all. If y'all guys, because I don't know what's going on with Z5. They don't have English subtitles right now. They said that they're working on it. Trust me, I called them. I'm like, y'all better give me some English subtitles, please. Y'all understand where I'm coming from. Like, so the assaultant starts coming to Nandini. Oh, You start remembering, I just wanted to know, I want Nandini. I was always in love with you. I was always this, I was always that. Nandini's just like going crazy right now. Like she's just like, oh my God, da, 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 da. Like get away from me, da da da. So she goes to, well, here's the thing about Indian shows, y'all. Here's the thing about these ZTV Indian shows. This is what sends me about them. They like to do a lot of like what ifs and a lot of like in my mind kind of things, like in the character's mind. So let's like for instance, like let's say they want to do something, they'll put like the shows will put in a whole scene where in their mind they'll think how the situation would go. So Nandini, right? So this is just like a in her mind thing. She goes up, she runs away from Krishna. She goes up, she tells her husband in front of all these people. She's just like, oh, I was assaulted and I was this, I was that. And Krishna was the one that assaulted me. And then Prem goes over there and beats the crap out of him and ends up killing him right in front of everybody. So that was in her mind, but then it comes back to reality. And that's the thing about these Indian shows. They always get us with that. That used to irritate me when I was a kid. Like, I was like, oh my God, stop doing that. Y'all need to, like, stop doing that. So, Nandini ends up going to her brother-in-law and her sister. And she's just, like, upset with them. She's like, y'all knew this all this time. Y'all knew that Krishna assaulted me, and yet you had him around me like that. Like you guys knew I was suffering through PTSD. You guys knew I was, I lost my memory, but yet you let this man come around me like that. I'm so upset at y'all. And she was like, and then her brother-in-law was like, oh, Nandini, even me, I was upset. I wanted to throw him in jail and everything, but I did this for the protection of my family. I'm just like, brother-in-law, and I'm forgetting his name at this moment, but I'm just like, brother-in-law, the protection of your family should, at the end of the day, Nandini is your family. You should have been protecting her. You should have sent turn him in. You should have grabbed him by the hair and put him in jail. Okay? Talking about protection of the family. Forget that. I don't care what anybody has to say. How society will look at you. Turn that mother effer in. Okay? Anyway. So we fast forward. So Nandini still doesn't tell Prem because here's the thing. Nandini doesn't even know how to even tell Prem about it. Because at this point, Prem is just like, like, girl, like, you're not really feeling me. Like, we never got intimate with each other. You're always trying to, push me away. And now it's like she knows the reason why she's like that and why, due to the PTSD of the assault. Now she has no idea how to even tell this guy, right? And mind you, at that, Krishna ended up becoming friends with Prem. He ended up becoming friends with her husband. Can you believe that, y'all? So Nandini's just trying to figure things out. She's just trying to figure these things out. Prem doesn't understand why Nandini hates Krishna so much, her husband. He doesn't understand, so he kind of got irritated with her. He was like, why are you being so rude right now? Like, and then there was a point where Nandini actually slapped Krishna, and I was like, yes, girl, slap him. So Prem was just upset at her over that, and stuff. So here's the thing, and Nandini, this is such a bad idea, and I love Nandini. I love her to death. She's my girl, but she really messed up in this area. Nandini decided, she was like, okay, I'm gonna finally tell my husband that I was assaulted years ago, right? And do you know the idea that she thought of to do this? She recorded herself on tape, like a voice recording, and left it there for her husband. And basically, telling him the truth and everything like that. And she was like, oh, in the end of that recording, she was like, oh, if you forgive me, if you accept me after this, I'll meet you. Just meet me at some place. I forgot what it was. I think it was like I'm not even sure what kind of place this was. It seemed like some area where it's like for lovers. I don't know. And if she said, if not, then I'll understand that, right? So Prem, Prem takes his time to come home and find the recording. So he finds, no, he didn't find the recording. I forgot who found the recording. I think it was one of Prem's like family members, because I think there was like some other members in the family that didn't really like Nandini, so that was a whole other thing. And I think they found it and they gave it to Prem's mother. So they gave it to Prem's mother. Prem, I don't know how he got the memo that Nandini was over at that place. So he found Nandini and everything. And Nandini's thinking in her mind that Prem knows the truth about her and about her past. So he's like, oh, I accept you, da da da, da da da. So they end up doing, they get they get it popping. They get it popping, and they finally consummated their marriage. So Prem and Nandini, they're all happy. You know how it is after you consummate the marriage. Like everybody's happy. We're all good. We're all good. We're all, what I'm saying. They come back to the house, and boom. Oh God! At this point, you might think of this as a tragedy. The family's like, oh my God, Nandini was assaulted, and this and that and that. And then Prem was shocked, and then she was like, Nandini thought that Prem knew. So she was like, oh, I thought you knew, girl. Like, and then Prem was like, what? So Prem was just like, oh, Nandini, you betrayed me. And I'm just like, for me as a fan, I'm just like, bro, what do you mean Nandini betrayed you, fam? Like, she was assaulted. It wasn't like she lost her virginity willingly and fornicated. No, like she was raped. Like, what do you mean you betrayed her? Da, da, da. And plus, she lost her memory at that. Prem, like, at least listen to what she has to say. Like, that irritated me. Like, that, the way they treated Nandini in that scene was really pissed me off. So, they ended up kicking Nandini at the house, which really pissed me off. But then Prem ended up, coming to his senses finally, like, after a couple of minutes, and ended up, going after Nandini and was like, I'll be with you, da 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 da. Okay, fast forward, because I want this video to end quickly. Fast forward, Prem ends up finding out that it was Krishna that assaulted Nandini, right? And he ends up beating the crap out of Krishna to the point where he thought that he killed Krishna, but it turns out Krishna actually feigned his death. So then Prem ended up going on to trial and everything, and it was a whole one thing. So then Krishna turned out and everything, and then Nandini saw Krishna. Krishna ends up killing Prem's mom, right? It was a whole thing. He did it by accident though, which is whatever. He still killed her mom, his mom, Prem's mom, and Krishna's mom, right? The assaulter's mom, right? Mind you, the assaulter's mom never liked Nandini. She's hated her since the beginning, right? When she finally found out the truth that Krishna did kill the mom and also assaulted Nandini, she ends up taking her shoe like a Indian mommy and starts hitting him and starts beating him up. And she was like, you better go to the police and tell them right now everything that you've done. So he ends up going, he confesses, they end up arresting Krishna, they put his ass in jail. Prem ends up kind of crossing paths with Krishna. Listen, you should have seen Prem's face when he was crossing paths with Krishna at the court. Like, Prem looked like he wanted to bust out of those handcuffs and start beating Krishna's ass. And I would have been here for it. So yeah, fast forward, right? It turns out that Nandini, oh God, when I found this out, I was like, oh Lord. Nandini ends up apparently getting pregnant out of the assault that she suffered, right? She gets pregnant with Krishna's baby. And it turns out they thought that the baby died, but it turns out, I guess it was like premature or something, and they kept it in an incubator, and they ended up growing, and they put the baby in a foster home or up for adoption and stuff. Prem and Nandini's brother-in-law end up finding the little girl. Oh my God, y'all, the little girl is so beautiful and so cute. So they end up finding her. Nandini's just like, I'm not about to accept this kid. Go put this kid back where you found it. That's not my child. That's not, get it out of my face. And as he should. And there's the part where the show kind of, did its thing with me, where I was just like, I don't understand why they rushed this. So basically after like the first two episodes were fun, when the first two episodes where she found the daughter and she didn't accept the daughter, and Prem was upset with Nandini for her not accepting the daughter, and literally by like the episode after that, Nandini accepts the daughter when Prem basically fake threats that he's gonna give the daughter away. So she's like, oh, okay, I'll accept the daughter. And then basically the show ends right there. And I'm just like, first of all, y'all, the Z writers. I don't know if this was written by Ekta Kapoor. I don't know. For me, I'm just like, listen, that I'm sorry, that was rushed. That was rushed. That was rushed. Nandini, you mean to tell me Nandini just came from a whole court case? She came, and you know how long that court case was? Do you know how long it took for Prem to find out that Krishna was the one that assaulted Nandini? And you mean to tell me after what? After the last 3 episodes, like all of a sudden, yeah, Nandini just accepts the child? I'm sorry. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Nandini should have never accepted that child that easily. Obviously, like, going further down, yes. But it's like the way they made it was way too rushed, right? And then I did my research. It turns out the reason why they rushed the show, let me go put this back to the first one, because at this point, I'm so upset why they did this. They rushed the show, and they ended it at the part where Nandini had accepted her daughter, and now Prem is the dad of the daughter. Is because the actress that played Prem's mom right here, you know, when she got killed off the show, is because she was having health issues. So they said that, oh well, she makes up a part of the show too, so it doesn't make sense for us to go forward with the show. And I'm just like, last time I checked, I watched the show for Nandini and Prem. I watched it for their story. I did not watch it to see Prem's mom. I'm sorry. And I honestly could have done without her. I do not care. If she was having health issues, so what? Why didn't y'all recast her? That's the part that's kind of like really. That's why like the show was like it feels incomplete, because it's like, why didn't y'all guys just recast her or anything? If she goes, she goes. That's it. Keep the story on Nandini and Prem and how Nandini is working on accepting her daughter, you know, or making let Prem try to, you know, push Nandini to accept the daughter, and then on top of that, here's my other thing. They could have also gone along with, you know, her accepting the daughter, and then also Nandini and Prem having a child of their own. I would have loved to see that dynamic. So it's just like the way that they did that, and for the reasoning as to why that really didn't sit well with me. That didn't sit well with me. I didn't like that. This show had 116 episodes, y'all. If y'all guys know the typical ZTV show episodes, they're usually like 300, 400, sometimes 500, 600. There's a show right now, Kumkum Bagya. That show is still going on. And at this point, I think it's up to maybe 2,000 episodes. And I'm not saying I want a show to go up to 2,000 episodes. I don't got time for that. But this diya vachan should have at least gone up to 300 episodes. At least. I needed to see. They should have never rushed the part where Nandini saw her daughter and accepts her in 2.5 seconds. No, they should have dragged that out. They should have dragged that out at least for like maybe 20, 30 episodes. And then, you know, give me a little bit more Prem and Nandini intimate scenes. I should have got more of that. And then give me a Nandini pregnancy scene. I wanted to see her pregnant with Prem's child. You know, now I gotta imagine this stuff and make it seem as if, you know, it's something that it most definitely came true on the show. I don't know. They should have done something with that. Either way, I still like the show. This show really caused me a lot of stress. Like the guy that played the villain, the assaulter Krishna, he did the damn thing. Okay, he acted his ass off as the villain. Like, I was just like, oh my god, I wanted to jump in the screen and just like hit him. Like, he really did his damn thing. You know, shout out to Nandini, the girl that played Nandini. She really, you know, she did what she had to do. Prem, all of them, they carried the show. So for all my ZTV fans, tell me what y'all guys think in the comment section below. Do y'all guys believe that Dil Se Diya Vachan should have been longer? I believe so. We should have more episodes. Nandini and Prem should have had a baby together. What do you guys think? Do you guys love the show? Do you guys do not like the show? Please like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me what other shows you guys want me to talk about, because this is one of the shows that was on my spirit, okay? So please like, comment, and subscribe. And please share my videos if you care. Bye.